One, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that looked like the heathen nations pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. We are not black Hebrew Israelites, nor do we teach that we are black Hebrew Israelites. All right. And we know that there is a scattering in the other nations to where people could look as the other nations, but through the Spirit are Israelites. I am disciple of Parium, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you the lesson in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to go into the importance of the server-waiter relationship. You could say, in this marriage of ours. So, without further ado, Yahweh's love is not unconditional. We as a bride, broke those conditions set upon us, in the wilderness. You go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. It shows what happened. It says, consequences of disobedience. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay? And yes, these curses do fit a set of people in this world today. All right? And it's not the you say the gorras pequeñas, tiny tops. Okay, it's not them. So, we broke these conditions via our disobedience, which led to the curses and our scattering among the nations. So this wasn't something the Lord Yahweh wanted us, to learn, to earn, but do as faithful servants. Okay, and I'll read the little AI quick overview between the importance of waiter and the patron. It says the waiter and patron relationship is crucial for creating a positive and memorable dining experience, fostering customer loyalty, and driving a restaurant's success. Since a good relationship is built on clear communication, mutual respect, and personalized service, which encourages repeat business through customer satisfaction and positive word of mouth referrals. The dynamics goes beyond a simple transaction, building rapport that makes customers feel valued and appreciated. And you could go on AI, Google, and just kind of look that up. And I kind of fat fingered that right there, but you know what I was trying to look up. Okay, so we know that faith, according to Hebrews 11:1, is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So let's go ahead and grab that real quick. It says, for by it the elders obtain a good report. And then when we go into that word servant, let's go to Philippians 2. And we're going to go from verse 5 to 11. It says, let the mind be in you that was also in Hamashiach Yahushai, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. Okay. So in the NLT it says he did not think of equality with power as something to cling to. Verse 7, but made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. All right. So when you go into that word right here in the NLT, it says he took the humble positions of a slave and was born as a human being. Okay. Let's see. Keep going to verse 11. Verse 8, it says, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore, power also had highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name. Okay? And that matters because, the name is a strong tower. All right, and it's Yahweh Shai, not no Jesus. Verse 10, that at the name of Yahweh Shai every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue shall confess that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is Lord, to the glory of power, the Father. Okay, so when we get that word servant, I believe it was, let's see. There it goes, verse 7. So we go to the interlinear of the word servant. It should be G 1401. Right here. And this is doulos. Okay? It says a slave, bondman, made of servile condition. And it also says devoted to another to the disregard of one's own interests. So you're not gonna just ask about certain things. You just go ahead and do and serve the person regardless. Okay, because that's your calling. So if we are called to be faithful servants as the bride to the bridegroom, and thus the bridegroom to the father, does this not apply in marriage? And the answer is it does. Okay? So if your wife doesn't believe or have faith in you, she will second guess you in every way. Okay? Now, obviously, it does speak about the believing husband and vice versa, the believing wife, could help save the other one. And there's a lot of patience, which is suffering within that. And you have to know and understand that you're being tested. Okay? But here's the point. It says she can't serve you right if she doesn't feel comforted or have faith. So this leads to being an unprofitable servant. And so this is something that came from Brother Yawan over here at GMS Dallas. I remember him stating that in the lesson. So how much more so from Yahweh, Yahweh Shai's bride? So let's go to Ephesians 5:33. And it reads, nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Okay? So this is a tie back to the body, um, is the bride, and Yahweh Shai is the bridegroom. And I believe I did have let's see. Just bear with me for a second. I did have an article I can't seem to find. We're going to go to the Bible Hub in the meantime. I wanted to read Gil's commentary on Ephesians 5:33. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's acting kind of weird. We'll just go down here. It says, nevertheless, let everyone in particular, it says, the apostles returns to his former subjects. Let's see, this 5:33. Yeah. And recapitulates the mutual duties of husbands and wife after he had enforced them from the instance and example of Hamashiach and his church, and would have every married person in particular take the directions and instructions given to themselves as that the husband so love his wife as himself, since the two are one flesh. And the wife see that she reverence her husband. All right, since he leaves father and mother for her and is the head of her. Okay, so like, again, going back, alluding to, thou gettest a wife, and then you get a possession, right? um let's see. So we know that the bride is Israel, and it sees and Israel is to see to it to respect thy husband. Scripture says that wives are to respect their husbands, not because they have earned it or deserved it, but because they may not. Let's see. Mindset. So I just found the article right now. Right here it is, right here. And it talks about the importance. How it says, how important is it for you to feel respected of me? Um, and speaking to the spouse, and it says, here he's, they're kind of joking. He says, I think it's, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 11. I need to know that you believe in me. I need to know that you are for me, and that you're proud of who I am, what I do, and all those things to me. All those fit in the word of respect. It says, here it goes. It says, let the wives see that they respect their husbands, as she's to see to it. That sounds, pretty important, and it is important for a specific reason. Since we live in a culture that says that respect has to be earned, but that's not what the Bible says when it comes to the marriage relationship. It says, Yahweh says um, that wives are to respect their husbands, not because they have earned or deserve it, but because they may not. So it is the respect that the seeds of change are planted. It is the love of power expressed through a relationship, a respectful wife, that a man's heart is made pliable and ready for him to grow humility and grace in Yahweh Shai, like tenderness. Let's see. But I'll go ahead and post this article on there. Just for time's sake, this is quite a bit of information. Um, And I've already read the AI overview on the importance of patron and waiter relationship. But I want to go to that word, patron and waiter. These words have meaning. And the word waiter is watchman. Here it says spy, it says senses now obsolete, but it says attendant at a meal, servant who waits at tables in the surviving sense, originally of household servants, in reference to table attendants at inns, eating houses. Let's see. It says one who abides in expectations of some event or time. And then if you get that word patron, it says Lord Master. It says one who protects, supports, or encourages, as one who has the right to presenting a clergyman to a preferment. Let's see. Here it says patron saint. We only know that the Israelites could be saints. And here it says meaning one who advances and encourages the cause or work. So really, essentially, if you think about it, really the husband is the one who could be the waiter and the patron. Okay. All right, so let's go to, in the biblical sense, yeah, I already said that. So let's go to Luke 17, 7 through 10. And I want to read this in the GNT actually. So let's find this real quick. And it's titled A Servant's Duty. And I'll go ahead and read it in the GNT. You guys just follow along. It says, suppose one of you has a servant who is plowing or looking after the sheep. When he comes in from the field, do you tell him to hurry along and eat his meal? Of course not. Instead, you say, get my supper ready. Then put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink. And after that, you may have your meal. Verse 9 says, the servant does not deserve thanks for obeying orders, does he? This is a rhetorical question. Verse 10, it is the same with you. When you have done all you have been told to do, say, we are ordinary servants. We only have done our duty. And that was verse 10. So basically it says, so likewise ye have, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty. Okay. And when you actually get the word unprofitable, verse 10, is akrios, useless, good for nothing, and it's unmeritorious. Okay, right there. So basically something that's done, without merit. So the Lord, so if you don't, going back to what I had stated earlier, is basically where it says, she can't serve you right, and she doesn't feel comforted or have faith in you. So basically, this leads to being an unprofitable servant. Okay, and so in being an unprofitable servant, what happens is over time, The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, will choose their delusions. So let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2:10-12. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they have received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right. Especially even though for the ones who don't believe, they don't, you gotta understand that you have to believe in your husband, because your husband, or is the one that's doing the work and will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and going out and doing the work, and going out into the streets and the highways and byways. The woman's not going out there. It's dangerous. That's why we don't, you don't see women out in camps. You're not supposed to, at least, because it's for a reason. Because we're bringing out the word, and this word, does not, uh, you know, go with along with everybody's thoughts, and it could be contentious. All right, and it's not a place for a woman to be. Verse 11, and for this cause Yahweh power shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Okay, verse 12, that they all might be damned and believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So verse 11 is the point. Now I'm going to finish off in Proverbs, for chapter 22, 1 and verse 4. It says, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. By humility and the fear of the Lord Yahweh are riches and honor and life. With that, I pray this lesson was edifying. Auntie Akim Akwad, I want to say shalom, and hope you have your day. On to the next. And Kwam Yashrala.